Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
This is Amy Poehler. My new movie, Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, is coming to theaters June 14th, and it's making me feel joy and sadness and anger, definitely some disgust, Rose, and I think a little fear. Really? But I'm also feeling these new emotions like anxiety, embarrassment, envy, and ennui.
It's what you call the boredom.
Okay, that one was weird. It's going to be the feel everything movie of the summer. Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, only in theaters June 14th. Get tickets now.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair. I cannot believe we are coming on 200 episodes of the show. I'm so elated. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful to all of you guys. So thank you again so much for everybody who continues to show love and support to the podcast. I truly, truly appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And of course to Rogue Media Network for everything that you guys do for me. I truly, truly appreciate that as well. We're going to be doing things a little bit different on this episode of The Public Affair. Now, before we continue with that, I just want to give a shout out to just some of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, this episode is brought to us by David Santabañez with Alinea Real Estate. He is the #1 sales agent in his office. That's why he's going to help you buy a home or sell your property. There's no reason why he's not the #1 sales agent in Alinea Real Estate after all these years. He's still the GOAT. And if you don't know what you're doing, he's going to help you from start to finish. He se habla español. So David Santabañez, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Armstrong's Bayou Cafe with my girl, Anika Armstrong. I went twice last week. It was everything. It was heaven. It was delicious. She's serving the most authentic Cajun cuisine with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and more. Now listen, my favorite is absolutely any pasta that you could choose from the menu. All her seafood is absolutely to die for as well. And those potatoes, those seafood potatoes, they're so addicting. Make sure you guys go check her out at Union Hall and on Union Grove in Woodway. Follow Armstrong's Bayou Cafe Corporation and Nico Armstrong. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Blue Star RV Services, my boy Manny Guerrero, a mobile RV tech who can fix all RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and so much more. Listen, he's dealing with the warranty company, so you guys don't have to do all that mess, all right? And all you have to do is call him and his team to go out there and fix your, the AC breaks in the food truck. You guys don't have anything that's operable. Him and his team will come out and take care of it no matter where you are. Follow on Facebook, call the number on the screen of Blue Star RV Services. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, I'm going to give a huge shout out to Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training, and of course now daycare services as well. They also have elite skills training to make your kids superb star athletes. With pros like George DeLeon. I joked right there, okay? They also offer open play on occasional Mondays and Wednesdays. Make sure you guys follow them on Facebook at Soko Soccer Academy and on Instagram at Soko Soccer 254. And of course, The Public Affair is still a proud sponsor of the Soko Soccer teams, coached by Coach Mauro Maldonado and his team and those kids there. So I went to a game yesterday, and a huge shout out to Kevin and Gio. They scored like all these goals. Purga, I saw him score. I don't want to forget anybody. I should have did that, but they're phenomenal kids, phenomenal teams to Soko Soccer Academy. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I truly, truly appreciate it. Do you need to fix that?
Well, okay. So I think we leave this in. I want everybody to know that this microphone stand is the bane of my existence. Okay. It starts to look at this. It just starts
to it was on Jeff Akita's lap.
That's okay. That's all right. We're going to put it right here in my chest. It'll be fine.
Well, listen, you guys, like I stated earlier in the episode, we are going to be doing things a little bit different. I wanted to bridge a gap between episode 199 and episode 200 by doing a clip show. It's something that we've talked about for a really, really long time. Mike's been begging me to do reaction videos. Mm-hmm. We've been trying to do reaction videos. Mike,
Yeah, I know.
It's hard to coordinate.
I know.
And I couldn't think of anybody perfect enough to do this episode with than somebody who's been in it since the beginning with me. The guy who came out of the closet with me on Franklin. And now we're here on the 21st floor of the Alico building. We're going to be reviewing a few episodes. Yeah. We're going to be talking about the show, the history of the show, where I'm at with the guests and everything. Anyway, you guys, I said his name in almost every single episode of the show. He's been behind the production and the editing of every single episode of the show. And I'm so happy to welcome on camera for the first time.
I think so.
It's for the first time in our intermission.
You had a Mike Hamilton, but it wasn't me.
It wasn't you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. You guys, this is my my editor, producer, and the guy behind just The Public Affair.
Yeah.
Mike Hamilton is here with me on this Intermission episode. How you doing?
I am A-okay.
Thanks
Andrew.
for doing this with me.
Yeah, man. I am honored to do this, honestly.
Yeah?
Okay, so you and I have known each other, what, 4.5 years? Something like that
something
now?
like that, yeah.
And we've produced 200 episodes of this thing. Good, bad, and indifferent. I'll take credit for all of it. It's some of it was terrible. We had some nightmares. I mean, it just comes with it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the way it goes. It was never you.
Okay.
Other than the sweating. It was never you.
Oh, God. Do you remember the sweating?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the sweating.
Shit.
Yeah. But no, when we got started, it's funny because I was going through some of these episodes to watch today. My God, you've changed.
Oh, really?
You have changed a lot.
A lot's happened in 4 years.
Oh, I know. A lot has happened to you and me both.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say, too, I mean, physical appearance is one thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's just even the way we
Both
run
of
the
us,
show.
honestly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. There's been a lot of trial and error.
Yeah. You have gotten to be this fit guy who throws tires around. And I just quit drinking. That was it. So, you know, that's
Were
all.
you drinking when we did the show?
Oh, Lord, Andrew.
Why
yes.
didn't I know that?
Oh, I don't know. Because I'm really good at hiding it.
Yeah.
Nobody in my life knew
I was
it.
always drunk on the show.
Yeah.
I was always drunk on the show.
I was out there in the hall drinking with you.
Is that
you
right?
just didn't know it.
I didn't know it. I had no idea.
No, I was, so when we first started this place, you know, I was there by myself a lot.
Sure.
And so you get bored, you
Yeah.
know, and so you just start drinking, and then all of a sudden you're drinking a lot. And so when we were over on Washington, my pancreas tried to get out.
Oh, really?
So I ended up 6 days in the hospital and said, hey, that's probably enough.
Yeah, that's about.
So coming up in October, it'll be 3 years.
Oh, okay,
No
got you.
drinking.
Well, you know, congratulations
Thank
to you.
you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
for sure.
it.
You know, I went through a stint with no drinking.
Yeah.
When obviously you were there
Tuesday.
for everything. Well, you know, when I started working out.
Yeah. No, you really did.
Remember?
Yeah, you
we
changed.
stopped putting drinks on the show and everything,
Yeah,
and then I
yeah.
brought the red wine and we called it a day.
The red wine was always my big thing too.
You know, here before we get into the you know, we have about 5 episodes that we're going to be looking at today, just briefly. And I want, you know, Mike, I wonder, and maybe the viewers, what was your perception when we had the idea for the Public Affair at the very, very beginning? When I met you, and I was like, this is the idea that I have. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to go with it, but yeah.
So you came into Franklin,
Right.
where we were. That was our original location. This is our 4th location. And I think you, Ann Harder, and Pete Sousa are the only 3 people that have been at all 4 locations, right? Other than me and Corey.
Sure.
But you were the first one to give us the ability to do a show like this. You were the first one that came in and gave us your, I don't know, you trusted us.
Okay.
You know, you trusted us to do it. And when we first started it, man, neither one of us knew what we were doing.
No, for sure.
And we had 4 cameras,
that
and
was
we
a
had
mess.
all this crap. And I would sit out in the hall and produce this thing as we did it, and then I'd have to rush you out to get Bluesville in for some reason. And then there was all of that, you know. But no, when you came to me with the concept, I was like, it sounds great. Let's do it. And you know, the big thing to me was your background in radio.
Okay.
So I knew that you would be okay, you know, presenting.
Yeah, sure.
And then I heard you do your ads, and I was like, dear God.
Well, we can't front and not say that the when we did the first ad, it was on episode 3.
Yeah.
With Goodies. And I mean, we did do it like 20 times.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Sure.
I was still a little green.
You're not supposed to say that, but yeah.
No, okay, well,
You're not supposed to tell people that. Yeah.
No, for sure. Well, God, Mike, I want to dive right into it.
Yeah,
we've got 5
let's go.
episodes. You know, and we did, there was no.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, for sure.
Listen, for 4.5 years, you have been a wonderful friend.
Yeah.
And I always look forward to you coming in and doing these shows.
Oh, thank you.
So I am super proud of you. And I'm also, and I'll look right in the camera when I say this, I am super proud of Andrew G. and the Public Affair being associated with Rogue Media. I can't imagine a better partnership.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you. That means a lot. That
it was a
truly
big
means a
deal,
lot.
man.
Yeah.
It was a big deal for both of us.
I think we just went in it with no expectations.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Well, no knowledge either.
No knowledge, no nothing.
Nothing.
I had 5 people committed on the show, and I was like, if it doesn't work out, I'll be happy.
I didn't realize that you had 5 people.
I had
already
5
committed.
people committed. I was like, you are going to be the 5, and then if it doesn't go anywhere after that, then we're fine.
Yeah,
and I'll be happy with 30 views. And you know,
Yeah. You've done okay.
Yeah,
You've done
it's
okay.
been doing good.
Yeah, you've been great. And the other thing I want to say is, and then we can get to it.
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to say is I'm so proud of your sponsors too.
Oh,
there are some people, Alinea.
Oh, yeah.
He's been with us from almost day
Since
one.
the very beginning.
Oh, my gosh. Elite
Barbershop has been... Elite Barbershop is my longest running sponsor.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
These folks, there's been a lot that have come and gone.
Yeah.
But thank you to them also.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But
100%.
the people that you've had probably the last year or so.
Yeah.
They have been so solid.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Such good people. They've come on here and talked about their products. I mean, it's just been it's been a great synergy of like advertising and entertainment and your personality. I love this show.
Well, I appreciate that, man. No, it means a lot coming from you. Honestly, it does.
You are the one that I hear the most about too.
Oh, is that right?
Between you and Ann Harder.
Okay.
So Ann Harder,
and she's like Jesus. So
she's almost Waco Jesus.
I can't step in the same floor as Ann Harder.
Well, she admires you quite a bit.
I love her.
Yeah, she admires you quite a bit. And without Ann, I don't know that I would have been able to get a lot of the other things. Mm-hmm. But without you, I don't think I would have known as many people. I mean, think about 200 shows. You've brought. Geez, what is that? 250 people in?
Sure.
Because we've had some that had like 19 people in them.
Yeah, for sure.
But and we need to get to a couple of stories too as we're doing this, because there are a couple of stories that I would like to bring up that aren't in these episodes.
Oh, okay, I would love that.
Yeah, like the one with no door. Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Oh my God, we could talk a lot of shit too.
Yeah, okay. You got it.
Well, okay, Mike, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So the first episode that I'm going to be pulling up, we recorded this about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It's going to be episode 9.
Yeah.
Antonio Noni Castillo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I want to get that on now.
Boxer, right?
He's the boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we did it with him 4 years ago. I remember when I invited Noni on the show. I didn't know who a lot of the people were, and somebody told me there's this guy named Noni that a lot of people know, and he used to be a professional boxer. Get him, and I remember calling him and saying, "Hey, you probably have never heard this," which he didn't.
Right.
And I said, I have this show that I'm doing, and I would love for you to come on. There's no agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you think? He's like,
that's
sure.
a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's hard to have somebody like that in there and not be like, oh my God, I'm a little intimidated by this dude.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, he boxes for a living.
Yeah.
But you talk about the sweetest, nicest guy.
Nicest guy.
Oh,
in the whole
so
world.
nice.
The nicest person in the entire world.
And
yes.
honestly, very interesting story.
Very interesting. And he's come such a long way too. Yeah. I just recently ran into him. I want to say just some months ago. Yeah. Yeah. Him and his whole family. Yeah. They're a beautiful family. Shout out to him and his wife, Precious. Wonderful. And they're doing so well. But yeah,
well, with a name like Precious, you can't be anything else.
For
I mean, that's, you're kind of pigeonholed there. So.
Definitely. So why don't we just get
let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, I woke up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Went and worked out, ran 3 miles, did my workout, come home, take a shower.
I'm looking around at the studio while he's talking.
Gym, work out for another 2 hours, come home.
It's the shirt for me.
Eat, barely
my
eat,
shirt.
basically,
I know.
Like
right.
nothing. Yeah.
And then I'm like frustrated, because I'm hungry. It's just,
and then you can't have sex, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too, because I had my last guest on here, and when you guys are doing events like that, you can't have sex.
Nah, because
Mike, can we talk? Can we just real quick? First of all, do you know how drunk I was on this episode?
Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah,
I was so drunk on this episode.
The reason that curtain's pulled back there is because I was drunk too. So,
really?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
No, that's not true. But
and I kind of want to. You mentioned the room earlier, so this was actually, you guys. This was the first studio that we had recorded.
Closet.
Yeah, it was literally a closet.
Little tiny place.
And you know what? A shout out to Steve's Barbershop, because if you know where he is, it's the same building. We were right next to him. If
you could have Steve on here, I would
love
that.
Steve on here.
Yeah, I need to stop
him.
by and talk to him. I haven't seen him in a while.
Steve is very private.
Steve's a great guy.
Yeah, it's a great guy. He's just very private. He's not into like the glitz and the glamour.
No.
But
Steve's one of those dudes that like I thought I was going to get shanked one night when I stopped over there to say hi to him about 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because he was like, somebody like looked out the window kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing besides haircuts, but whatever they were, it's private. And that's great.
Yeah, for sure. No,
but no,
guy.
Steve has always been super nice to us and super supportive. And I am so happy for him that he's still going.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I drive by there every once in a while and I just think about the time.
Yeah.
Steve, and I'm sorry if you don't want this much from me, but Steve is one of those guys that like you want to have as a neighbor.
Yeah.
Because he'll bring your trash can in, he'll watch when your dogs get out, all of that stuff.
Super nice guy. Yeah, love that guy. I actually keep up with him quite often.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
We message a lot. Yeah, he's so great.
It's cool.
But no,
But Elite Barbershop. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we love Elite Barbershop. Yeah, they love Steve.
Yeah.
No, okay, so it's the shirt for me. Like, I don't know why you let me walk in. I don't know why you let me in with that.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice.
I mean,
That's not
what I like are the Pokemon, the little stuffs.
I had to have him. Yeah, that was my.
And then the giant thing
night? 'Cause you
of,
ain't
what is
seen
that,
just
amaretto
yourself,
or
like,
something?
man,
Yeah, we made a drink.
I know, right?
Oh.
Were you trying to watch? Damn. Okay. No, and then I'm sure Precious, if she's
I'll tell you what
like she said you were.
I tell you what I did like
Yeah?
is that background. The spray painted one.
Looking back at it now, I wasn't into it.
I liked it.
Did you?
I
Okay.
thought it was cool just simply
Sure.
because I had an artist I knew come in and do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought I was big shit because I got somebody to show up and do it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It was great.
You better come over here and get this shit. What the fuck? Sex. I don't give a fuck about no damn fight. You better come over here and fuck me. Kick your fucking ass. We're trying to make another baby.
Threatening
No, so,
people.
I mean, was that like I kind of want to dive into that a little bit. You've heard of the term cockstrong?
Yeah.
I talked to this
that's
about Armando. I talked with Armando Villarreal. It's the shots. We took a shot.
That's it.
I talked about it with Armando Villarreal, and he was, explaining to me what cockstrong was.
That
and
table,
how
we
you
still
can't
have
have
that
sex because like releases your endorphins or something.
Yeah. It I guess it relaxes you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it relaxes you, and then I guess you have to basically start out over. Like you're already at your peak, and then you let all that out, and it's just like you just feel drained, and it's like, damn, I got to work myself back up.
Doesn't it feel good?
Like, let me tell you,
Yeah.
when I look back at this, right, it's funny
Yeah.
to think about it. But I feel like I wish I would have never asked that to him.
Really?
Because he's,
Why is that?
while you could, obviously, I don't think he cared. I feel like now, me 4 years later, I feel like that was such an intrusive question. Like, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think that early on, that's what you built your show on, for
True.
the most part.
Yeah, that's
you know.
true.
I mean, you've told me before that you stopped being as slutty as you were, you know, in those beginning episodes and stuff. And
Yeah.
I agree. You've come a long way as like just an interviewer, you know, and a host. So
Well, I'm glad. Thank you.
we look at this, and
Yeah.
I mean, we can laugh at it and stuff, but
Yeah, I don't.
You know
I don't
what?
think I regret it. I just.
No.
It was just like, damn. Why don't
it was serious ass business though when we
know
were
what,
doing it.
You know what it was with him too, though. Like, I remember when he came on the show, the very first thing that he said in the beginning of the episode was that he really wants to just like leave a stamp,
Yeah.
you know, and be
Yeah.
inspiring. And I remember not wanting, on purpose, not wanting to take the episode in that direction. I was like, no, I want it to be risque. I want it to be fun. And you're right.
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago,
Yeah.
I built it off of
Yeah.
just being slutty, inappropriate.
I would
Yeah.
say that now, I don't know, it's like 1 out of every 10 episodes, you know, that you
Yeah, we
go
had
a
to-
little,
we had to-
because you have to just like let off some steam.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, we have to have those fun ones.
Oh, I
for
get
sure.
it. Yeah.
I just sat back and was like, well, what do you want, God? And he was like, man, he said, there's something amazing that's about to happen, you know, and I was like, what? You know, I said, okay. And I turned back on my phone. I was watching Netflix for lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
And then my coach called me. He was like, man, I got some big news for you. I was like, what? He was like, man, you might get the fight on TV. I was like, what?
On TV.
He was like, yeah, man, just stay posted. And I was like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
God just told me something was finna happen, you know, and I was like, all right. And then later on, he called me. He was like, man, you got the spot. You're going to fight on TV. It was supposed to be an upcoming prospect in
that's cool.
Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just drunk.
And so I was like, okay,
I'm like,
cool.
wow.
So that fight, you know, that whole time, and everything was
Such a
happening
good
in
kid.
order. Like,
oh yeah,
Right.
He's amazing.
God just told me, you going to win this fight.
Okay.
And we on TV. And
Was he right? Was he right?
Oh, yeah, he was right,
Okay.
man. That was the last fight.
We have to see. Okay.
Yeah, that, you know, it was the last
That
fight. The
echo,
dude was good, man.
Oh,
I give him
that
props.
That
Wow.
echo.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you beat a king, God? You know what I'm saying? How can you beat that?
Yeah, you're right. God is pretty cool.
What a great response. God is pretty cool.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah.
Different.
You see, like,
So,
You got me drinking all this Di Serrano, okay? Stop.
D. Saronis.
yeah, that's what we were drinking.
Do you know where his career is now?
So Noni,
Like, is he still fighting?
Noni's not fighting.
Okay.
I don't know if he's still training his son.
Yeah.
I know for a while he was training his son.
Oh, that's cool.
Noni is very much a family man, very private. And just side note, I have invited him and his wife on the show.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and they're very, very power couple-y, very just about each other and raising their family, and that's all they're interested in.
Amen.
And
Nothing wrong with that.
When we talked about it, I proposed the idea for him, and he was down to come back on, which I
That's
was so
cool.
happy. But as far as boxing, I think he's taken a step back from that and is more focused on his kids. I want to say his son might be the next protege, like
Oh,
that,
wow.
that he might be the next Noni, if you
Yeah,
will.
that's cool.
Yeah, so
That's really cool.
I wonder what your thoughts are of the episode.
Oh, the episode in general?
totality, yeah.
Well, I think the episode's fine.
Yeah.
I think you could run circles around this guy right now, as far as interviewing and the way you host and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great beginning, though.
Sure.
I mean, shit, we're looking at 9 episodes in, man. You're good.
And I have no idea where that shirt's at. I want to say I gave it to my best friend because he's a dad now, so he.
Well,
yes.
that shirt could hold 2
it's
of
the
you now.
sailboats for me.
So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, listen. I love reaching back and
it's
to
great.
you guys. To Noni, I still keep in touch with him very sporadically. Him and his wife, and big shout out to them. And hopefully one day we'll have Noni and Precious back on the
I
show.
would love that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
great.
Gosh, so for the next episode that I have ready to review, we mentioned them earlier.
Yeah.
And they've been the longest running sponsor of the Public
Yeah.
Affair, and of
Yeah.
course it's my boys Sid
Yeah.
and Marcus from Elite Barbershop.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So
Good guys.
that was just the episode after this one. That
Good.
was episode 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was
Oh, wow.
episode
I didn't
10.
realize that.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, man, that was a big deal bringing them in.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they,
I think it was
like you
just-
say, longest running,
Yes.
and they got a beautiful shop. by the
Oh
way.
yeah. So Sid, when he came on the show, everybody has to know I followed Sid since barber school,
Okay.
and so it was
What
barber
barber school?
Oh God, it's not open
Somewhere
anymore.
here?
I-35 or something.
it was somewhere
I
here,
can't-
though.
Yeah, it was somewhere
Yeah,
here.
okay.
And so I followed him from there, and then he opened Elite Barbershop. And at the time, I think it was just him and Marcus.
Really?
It was just him and
I
Marcus.
don't doubt it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to get started.
And Marcus
like that.
is still there.
Yeah.
Marcus is still there, and I
Marcus
think
Guerrero, right?
Marcus Guerrero.
Yeah.
And so
I hear that name once a week.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah.
yeah, and so when I invited them on the show, I think mine and Sid, and he'll agree, our motive was to make Marcus uncomfortable.
Oh.
Because I had a crush on Marcus, and this is
Oh,
before.
see, I didn't realize
Oh
that.
yeah, this is before I knew the wife and everything, and so I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna make him, we're gonna do him. And I wanted to.
We're gonna do him.
We're gonna do him, and I wanted to do him. Yeah, it
so
was great for sure.
Yeah, fucking beer. Yeah. I'm not allowed
No
to
more
drink.
for you.
I know, no more for you. Whatever.
You still have that
I
shirt?
went in there and I was drinking. Remember,
In the
I
smaller
started talking about that, I told the whole story about what happened last year.
Look at you with the camo hat and the whole
that's
thing.
Adhon payment.
Yeah.
I don't tell
Oh
everybody-
God, y'all are drinking those big micheladas. Is that what that's how you say, it, right?
Yeah,
Micheladas?
that's
yeah.
Fucking quick. I never talk shit. I only say the truth about people, and it hurts their fucking feelings. What do you want me to do? You know what I mean? So if I said something about you, it's probably the fucking
Black
well, it
Sheep,
was
by the way,
truth.
was his name.
But we'd be in that barbershop acting fucking stupid. Well,
Yeah,
I
most
fucking-
definitely.
Yeah.
We definitely love when you go in there.
Yeah. Does Marcus love it?
It's what?
There it is.
Yeah, when you're going, like, hey, is Andrew coming in?
You want to know what? He
With
knew
the
that I was
white
going to make
cloud?
you uncomfortable the entire time.
I told him, I was like,
Yeah.
I already know we're gonna
Hey, man,
go get some
Andrew,
questions.
though.
No,
Yeah,
remember that
it's
one?
Andrew,
Remember that
man.
one time we were talking about barbecue, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I love links," and me and you were looking at each other like,
He said, no. He said,
was it? Oh, we were like, you're on your own
I
on
left
that one.
sausage in my mouth.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Because it's fucking great. Like, but you know why I fuck with you so heavy is because y'all just go with it. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely.
Like, oh fuck him, he can't come back here. No,
yeah,
nobody else did that either. I will
Yeah.
say.
but at the also too,
Big fucking
even
drinks, man.
That was Fatboy Michelada and Botana.
I know.
that come
I know.
in too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, just you being in there interacting with them too. Cracking jokes and stuff. Man, I mean, it's.
I had cut somebody. What was it yesterday? The guy said he met you at the George's at the bar. Him
Yeah.
and his wife,
Yeah, it was an older
older white guy.
Oh my God, Marcus? Hayden?
Yeah, that's
Hayden?
him, yeah.
Shout out to
Oh
him.
my God, I forgot about them.
Yeah.
I do know them.
Asked him on the podcast. I said we're gonna be on tomorrow. He's like, yeah, it's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah, him and his wife are fucking crunk.
Yeah.
So Sid and Marcus,
Yeah.
we had so much booze on this episode.
Yeah, you did.
So shout out to Fatboy Michelada and Botana, Junior Banda, who he gave us the micheladas
Yeah.
for this episode,
Yeah.
which and then they were absolutely phenomenal.
They came in by the bucket full too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
they were.
yeah.
It was so much stuff.
And shout out to him too, because he's still doing his thing
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, good
He's
for
still
him.
going strong,
Good for
and
him.
there's no taking that guy down, honestly.
wonderful.
And so we got the micheladas, and then we got the the Dos Equis.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I was drunk before this one too.
So you introduced me to a drink that I had never had, and
Okay.
that was the Scotch and pineapple juice or whatever it was. What is that called?
Oh my God, was it what the fuck was it?
You know what I'm talking about.
Was it? I don't know.
Like, who's your guy that the car guy?
JB Auto Detailing.
No. The
Oh.
yeah. The one you worked at the radio station with.
Oh, Kutis.
Yeah.
Oh, so he had something similar.
I think Kutis has a hollow leg where he brings all that stuff in because damn,
it's always a good time with him.
Oh,
yeah,
Lord
for sure.
have mercy.
You know, I always love watching this episode back. I did just a few weeks ago, and because you know what it is like with Sid too. Sid has come so far in his career and has made such good rapport with every single person that he's come in contact with.
That's cool.
And he's truly built an elite team of barbers.
No pun intended. Yeah.
No, well, no, truly though, because each of them have cut my hair.
Yeah.
And you know, shout out to Sam Ceballos, who's one of his newest barbers. He cut my hair, and I got laid afterwards. So Sam has the golden touch. You know what I mean? And Sam's cute too, though. You know what I mean? Like I would like.
Yeah, I understand what you would.
For sure.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
No, I wonder. Now, Mike, there's no question about it. We've had tons of barbers on the show.
There for a while, I thought it was just going to be barbers and real estate agents. That was about it. Yeah. Yeah, that was.
Were you getting sick of it?
No, I mean, I couldn't. You know, I mean, you make it interesting no matter what, and your guests for the most part. I mean, out of 200 episodes, I mean, I can count on one hand how many kind of went south. Okay. That was about it. I mean, it was like 4 maybe, something like that. It wasn't that many.
Most definitely, yeah.
Now, we have had to re-record a couple of times.
A few times.
But that's, it's, you don't put out 200 episodes and not screw up every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, and then we have like the technical issues, which
every once in a while,
the nightmare. Yeah, for sure. Let's get back to
it. It happens.
That probably back you up.
I
don't know.
Let's get off these technical issues. That's focusing on me.
Second Amendment rights. And they have guns. So, and I'm looking for a head of security as well. And I said on my last episode, this girl Chastity Standifer, she's going to be head of my security.
Yeah, I remember her.
She's about 5 foot tall, but she's fucking ferocious.
Ooh.
And so, and I told Esther's anyway. So was there any inspirations for you guys to become barber? Oh, no, wait, the shoes. We got to talk about the shoes. Before we continue, I have to throw the shoes in there. So from what I understand, and I don't know how true this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? From what I understand, she won the shoes, and this is another reason why I was telling you I hate shit like this. Yeah. She won the shoes.
Oh,
they went to what?
This was that barber thing, right? Where they were like giving out free haircuts or whatever?
They had the free haircuts.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And so from what I understand,
damn, it's amazing how much of this I retained.
She was telling the kid, pick the most expensive shoe because you get to have whatever shoe, and then she went back to try to return it to get the cash.
No.
Oh, I didn't hear. I don't know.
I mean, from what I heard was that it was. She was telling the kid wanted a specific shoe,
right?
But the mom was telling her to pick a more expensive shoe so that she could go back later on, get the receipt, go back later on, and exchange the shoes to I mean, I don't know what she was gonna do with them, but
to get the money, obviously.
Get the money, but I mean, exchange the shoes to get more.
Can we acknowledge something? Why
this is what I heard, but.
Well, I'll tell you what. I look at people like that's life, and whenever I feel like my life is a little bit on the shitter, I'm just like, oh, that's not as bad as that. So I'm good.
Can we talk about how Sid's hair blends in? What were we doing? What were we thinking with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
We had the black curtain.
We were thinking, dear God, we got a shot. That's what we were thinking.
What do you know what?
Yeah,
look at these close-up shots that we used to do.
All you can see is his face. Yeah, that's rough.
Isn't it crazy? Like.
It's like any show that we do here, though. Like, I mean, we could take this and just start picking it apart. But I think the magic of this show is just the content.
Yeah, sure.
It's you. People love you.
Well, thanks. I
most
think people, most people love me. Okay. And then with this episode, with episode 10 as well, we visit it so much. I get my haircut from him every single week, and you guys, we're gonna have an elite barbershop episode. Yeah, we're going to.
We've talked about that.
We've talked about it.
I've been out there to scope it out and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
We've talked about actually shooting one there.
Yeah, and we're gonna do it right. I just when it comes to something like that, I wanted to do it justice. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be no bullshit. This and that. You know what, Mike? I wonder. Do you have a favorite episode of The Public Affair?
I think you know which one is my favorite one. I told you that we wanted to include that one in this one. Okay. But the issue, so there's a couple of things that go on with that episode, and let's save that until we get there.
Okay, we'll save that. Yeah. Okay, what about this? Is there an episode that we recorded and you were like, oh my God?
So the one over on Webster, where I came in at the end of the episode, and the guy already had his shirt off. And
you're talking about Caesar.
Yeah, and you were like, oh my God, you just missed it.
Yeah. So shout out to C's Fit.
All I see is a bunch of people with no shirts on and stuff.
Yeah, well, he was an OnlyFans model.
I get it.
And we were doing promotional photo shoot for the show.
Yeah.
And we had to
Where are those photos?
And my phone. It was hard to post them on social media because then you get flagged.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, no,
You
for
got to
sure.
put a little bar over there.
You mentioned stories earlier.
Yeah.
You know, before we continue and you know, with the other episodes, what are some of them that you want to share?
So you've had quite the cavalcade of people come through here. And one of the things I want to say is that you treat them all the same.
Oh, yeah.
Which that's a big deal because it's easy to get caught up in, well, I didn't really like that guy, I didn't really like that girl, whatever. That's not how you do a show like this. You got to treat everybody fairly, and you got to listen to their story.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, I've never seen you like check out during an interview.
Okay.
And that's a testament to you. I mean, that's a big deal.
Well, it's hard. It's hard because there's some people that are easy to record, and no shade on nobody, but
believe me, I know.
Yeah, people come on camera and they get shy. You know what I mean? And some people come in and they're naturals. And
absolutely,
I tell people,
and you think the ones that are going to be good.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's hard, and I tell people all the time when I invite them on the Public Affair, you be yourself.
Yeah.
And let me create the content. You know what I mean? And I tell everybody, if you pull wool over people's eyes, they're going to know right away.
God,
I was talking to somebody who was interested in starting a podcast. I think they reached out to you.
Yeah.
And, you know, they mentioned just briefly about, we have this job and we have to really watch what we say. The minute you start worrying about
you're right.
all that, you're going to it's going to fail instantly.
Unless you want to do like I mean, I've had some people come to me and say, I want to do this podcast, but I want to do it anonymously.
Okay.
Great, let's do that. But that's audio. You know, you better just do audio.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I can bleep your name, I can bleep, all the stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah, definitely.
Boy, you start putting on video, I got to blur your face and the whole
And there's
thing.
definitely things, on the show that I've said that I regret.
Yeah.
I've definitely, one of the things that I never wanted it to be was the cliche, just gossip, chisme, let's talk shit about everybody. And there's things that I've said about people on this show and it got back to them.
I get that.
And I've definitely had to apologize. You learn a lot in this business.
Andrew, you're looking at an hour to an hour and a half, 200 times in a row.
Yeah.
So, we're all human. We're going to say things. I've got plenty of things I've said that I want to take back. I've got 2 marriages I want to take back. But, it's just going to happen. You're human.
Most
it
definitely.
just happens. Yeah.
Most definitely.
But as long as I guess the most important thing to that is apologize and mean it.
And move on.
That's the other thing. Mean
absolutely.
it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I will tell you this, I talked about us being friends and stuff, and I really do think we are. You and my wife and I have been out to dinner a few times and stuff, and it's always been such a good time. And she really thinks the utmost of you, by the way.
Yes. I love Suzanne.
She loves you.
Yes, I love it.
Here's what happened in the can we do this real quick?
Okay,
I want to go through a quick timeline of things that have happened.
Okay.
Right. So we started the place over on Franklin in 2019.
Yeah.
We moved to Washington in 2020-ish, 21.
Yeah.
Something happened around that time. I don't know, something with masks.
Yeah.
And so we moved over to Washington. We had the giant ice storm.
Yeah.
Remember that thing?
Yeah.
I ended up driving from Hewitt back down to Waco and stealing lumber out of the place while we were still building it just so I could burn it in my fireplace to keep us alive. And then, like I say, over on Washington, that's where I had my big attack and had to go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
You broke your foot.
I did.
In the meantime.
Yes, I did.
And you came in a cast and did your shows and the whole thing, just like a trooper. And then I had a hip replaced.
Oh, wow.
I had my neck operated on.
Yeah. It was a lot to happen.
Oh my God, it's been so much. Yeah. And then we moved over to Webster, and that's where we kind of started really blossoming into what we are now.
Yeah.
And most of it's because of you. We built the video studio back there, and I think it was beautiful for you at the time.
Loved it, yeah.
It was great for you at the time. Now this is much more fitting for you because your show is a little more upscale than it used to be.
Okay, yeah. I agree.
And so we moved in here. I moved 3 times in 3 years.
Yeah.
Always in July. Not sure why he hates me so much, but always in July. And this is the place that will make magic, and I will die in this building.
Well, we will definitely see for sure.
Yeah. It's been great, though.
I think it's been a great ride. Well, you know what, Mike? We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to have more episodes to review.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys stay tuned on our intermission episode of The Public Affair. We'll be right back. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode of The Public Affair, my Bridge to Gap, episode 199, up to the road to episode 200, our intermission episode. Now, before we continue, I just need to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by Banda's Hauling Service with Julie and Ana Banda. They rent dump trailers, right? You fill it up and they haul it away. They also do junk removals and tree brush removals, and they haul cars in and out of town. They're also offering dumpster services as well. So when you guys have those big giant parties and you guys need a roll-off dumpster, hit up Banda's Hauling Service and they'll be there. And they're absolutely 100% reliable. Those people will pull up no matter what. Look now at the number on the screen, Banda's Hauling Service. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Oscar Penguin Benitez with Funtown RV, the best in RV sales. Listen, Penguin's working overtime to make sure you and your family are situated and settled in the best RV suited for you. I'm talking about toy haulers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and so much more. Se habla español. If you guys need to go camping in style this year, and you guys need to make sure that, because camping season's in right now, and you guys don't want to be pulled up in a little ass tent or whatever, make sure you guys hit up my boy Penguin to get the best deal in RVs. Follow Penguin's cool RV deals and tips on Facebook. To Penguin, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Striker Post Photography, my girl Myra Rosales, a digital photo booth business perfect for parties, private events, corporate events, and so much more. It's fun, it's convenient, and it's easy. She's also offering digital customized invitations and movement forms as well. I'm talking about e-vites, you guys. E-vites, don't be sending out no physical invites. Oh, get with my girl Striker Post Photography. Oh, also, graduations around the corner. If you guys need some graduation photos, hit her up as well. Call the number on the screen and book now, and sports photos as well. Listen, any photography needs, just hit up my girl Myra Rosales. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, the Brothers Roofing and Remodeling, my boy Jesus Sanchez from Mart, Texas, a small construction business from Mart, specializing in general roofing needs and so much more. Listen, protect your home from the crazy elements of the Texas weather with his high quality and affordable work. Make sure you guys follow him on Facebook and call the number on the screen of my boy Jesus Sanchez. Oh, and all remodeling as well, of course. You guys don't want to miss out on that. All right, so Brothers Roofing and Remodeling, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. All right, guys, we're going to get right back into it. We're reviewing some old episodes of The Public Affair right before we get into episode 200. I've got my longtime producer here since the beginning, Mike Hamilton. Yes, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it so much. Do you ever think it was difficult to work with?
I mean, I'd have to lie if I said never.
Yeah.
But we got to take this as a whole, right? I mean, and so overall, no. I think you're always very reasonable. Again, it's one of the things where you understand the business. So that's a big part.
I don't think people realize how much goes on behind the scenes.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, behind the scenes, like they see the hour episode and it's fun, it's this and that, but there's so much that we've had to deal with. And you know what?
They can see all the extension cords and all the crap. Yeah.
I want to use this opportunity since we're talking about old episodes real quick. I have to give a shout out to Will London, who was on this show.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say why I regret putting that episode out so much. No, I wish we would have never put that episode out.
Is that the forehead?
No, that's CJ Collins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, CJ Collins, we chopped his head off.
I didn't like that one.
No,
because of the way I like
the
him.
Camera angle,
It's because I started the camera right here on his forehead.
Will London was the guy who went to the Olympics.
Oh, that's right.
And we had the whole episode, the audio was trash.
Sucked.
And the thing was, you guys,
Will.
I don't feel like we did him justice on there. And
I would love to see that man come back.
You know what? He said he would. And
awesome.
I've been keeping up with him on social media, and he's really doing his thing. And I told him this. I think I told him this. I said, I wish we would have just never did that.
Yeah.
I wish at the time though, because we were so obsessed with consistency that I was just like, we got to put it out no matter what. And I will never go back and watch that episode because I hate the way it sounded.
Yeah, I would have rather run a rerun at this point. Or
he was great.
No, it's not him.
He was phenomenal. It was
all us.
Yeah, it was.
That was Washington, right? Wasn't that Washington?
That was on Washington.
Yeah.
Everything about it was terrible. And I
was
told him
rough.
that. And I hope to get Will London back on the show. Yeah.
Okay, so while we're talking about rough stuff, let's talk about that one we did with no door.
Okay.
So that was Splash.
Love Splash.
Right?
I love Splash.
We did that episode before the studio was even actually built.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it had no door.
Yeah.
And he brought 19 people with him and his dog.
Yeah.
And they all wanted to sit through the episode.
Yes.
And we were at a time when you and I both were like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
And now we'd be like, I'm sorry, it's 4.
Yeah.
Well, except for you and when you do a room full of guys in there. Yeah, it was crazy because I would have to move the door to come into you and then move it back and try to muffle the sound.
Yeah, it was wild. And you know what, too? Well, we just real quick shout out to him because I still keep in touch with him very sporadically as well. And I will say,
Will?
Will and Splash.
Oh, yeah, Splash.
Splash is still one
Last
of the
time I saw Splash, he was in a pool. That's all I know.
But he's honestly like the social media persona. Yeah. And then the person that you meet.
It's two different people.
It's two different people. And he's the nicest person.
Well, he came and did a show over on Washington. You remember that?
Okay, yes.
After he came back,
yes,
and he did a hip hop show. Yeah,
perfect,
it was cool.
Perfect. All right, so Mike, now we're gonna get into an episode that it's actually the highest viewed episode of the Public Affair.
Gee, I wonder why.
You know what?
Yeah.
I love her.
Yes.
And of course, we're talking about OnlyFans model Isabel Garcia.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, when I invited her on this show, I remember somebody telling me, because OnlyFans was just kind of like getting, it was like kind of getting out there.
I didn't.
Yeah, and so I'm
going to tell you, I still don't know what it is.
So okay, yeah.
In case my wife.
I've had several. No, so people, I had some people telling me, there's a girl in Waco who does OnlyFans.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either until they told me, and I found her, and I remember messaging her. I think it was months prior to her agreeing to come on. Yeah. And I said, hey, I have this podcast. I'd love to talk to you about your career. And she ended up messaging me back on a Friendsgiving and said, sure, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
And she was honestly like the nicest person I've ever met.
She, the one picture I will always remember of her is when she was dressed up like a turkey.
Okay.
on her Instagram. Yeah. It was like it was advertising her OnlyFans, and it was about Thanksgiving. But when you brought up Friendsgiving, I was like, oh yeah, I saw her dressed as a turkey.
Well, listen, why don't we take a quick look at it?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
OnlyFans or?
Honestly, I think so.
Okay.
I don't really like talking about haters.
Yeah, I guess like people like, ooh, why are you doing that? Like, did you have a lot of messages of people like messaging you, like, what the fuck's your problem? Like, why are you doing that?
No, maybe behind closed doors. But no one really like messages me like.
Yeah. Did you
that like saying things like that?
Okay, so you haven't faced any public scrutiny or anything for it?
Well, actually, a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
I don't know how you do that.
Thinking about that.
Can you talk to us a little bit about like the first time you dealt with that? Like, was it hard for you or?
Actually, no.
You just didn't care.
See, I forget. It just doesn't faze me.
I got you.
It really don't.
Yeah.
Like people. I guess I'm really that nice. Like you can say whatever to me, and I'm just like, okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you really are a nice girl. Like even just sitting here talking to you and meeting you, like despite what you like. Here's the thing. I personally don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. Good for you, girl. You know what I mean? Some people are just quick to judge. Is it just one ear and not the other for you? Like you just don't care?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I appreciate about her.
That is the one thing you can take away from that.
Yeah.
That she does not pay attention to what people think.
She doesn't, and in
a good way, not like screw you, I'm doing whatever.
I think it's in either way because she does. There's a lot of people. I've been around people that have said like not nice things about her, and I always say no matter what she does. While it is controversial, her career, that's what she chose to do. Let her do her. You know what I mean? Like,
so I had no idea who she was, and like you say, this is 2020 probably. Yeah, 2021 at the latest.
Yeah, it was episode 26.
We didn't know what the hell OnlyFans was at the time.
For sure.
It was a brand new thing. Since then and now, I've met so many people who know her.
Okay.
And what I didn't realize is my two stepsons worked at a restaurant with her.
Oh, there you go.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And I always have to say that though. Like I didn't know what to expect when interviewing Isabel. And then when I interviewed her and I got to talk to her personally, she was sweet though.
Yeah, she's
like
very
she wasn't
sweet.
a stuck up bitch. She wasn't
sweet person.
She was very sweet. I even ran into her at the grocery store and she said she wanted to come do the show again.
She does not come across as stuck up at all.
For sure.
She's very sweet. Now we did have one thing happen.
Yeah. Okay. So
there was a little.
We did have to cut it out. Yeah. She did have one of the girls came out. And I thought, you know what we should have did? We should.
I know.
Well, no, I don't. Well, she probably wouldn't have cared, but we should have put like a.
You wanted to put your face over it.
Yeah,
what you
we should have did that.
And that would have been hilarious.
That would have been funny. Yeah.
I was still pretty skittish at this point, and I was like, we need to get rid of that nipple.
Definitely down. Yeah.
So you're not really worried about facing public scrutiny or anything like that.
No.
So like, what is your opinion about people that think less of you for doing this?
I mean, it's just it's either they're insecure about something. I don't know. I just feel like it's something wrong with themselves to like hate me so hard because I honestly mind my own business. To like I don't really worry about people like hating on me or anything like that.
And at the end of the day, you're still a mother.
Exactly. That's my main focus. Just like my household, my family.
Oh yeah.
And
making money.
So does
it's all business.
Not that your son knows what you do, but like, would you be open to talking to him about it when he gets older? Or?
I mean,
because surely he's not just right there like, oh, mom, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean,
he knows
he knows that I take pictures
for
money, you know, because he knows that I'm really pretty,
right?
And so he just thinks
it is
like,
almost there as you're watching this.
Money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I have to say too, let me talk about her as a mother, in the most respectful manner. I met her son.
Oh, really?
By fluke. I was at Soko, and he was with his friends, and I think they were all working out at the boxing gym, Montezuma Boxing.
Oh, okay.
And they all ran up to me like I was fucking Hannah Montana, and you know, he kind of just told me, he goes, "My mom is Isabel, who was on your show," and I remember.
So he has watched it.
That I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. But the kids took a photo with me.
Yeah.
And I remember messaging her, and I asked her, I said, hey, can I have that photo? I just want to like post it and say, look, these kids, like, you know, because I didn't know that kids were watching the show. That's kind of part of the reason why I changed how I do the show. But anyway, I will say, she goes, I don't feel comfortable with images of my son being shared. No, she did. She said, I would rather not, you know, she's very, very private with her son. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, she's a mother too. Yeah. And while she does what she does, you can't take away the fact that she, you know, she's still loving, she's still nurturing. You know what I mean?
You know, here's the deal, man. Everybody's got to earn a living, and she is taking advantage of what she can while she can. Yeah. Because time comes for all of us, you know, and it won't always be a thing.
Yeah, sure.
I always thought you should go on and just do feet pics.
To be only... Really? Do you think I make a lot of money?
Ankles and feet. That's all you need to do, yeah.
I wonder...
you set your little Pokemon guys right by your ankles and feet.
For sure. One thing I hate about this episode, I will say, it was 34 minutes. I talked too much. And when I don't like rewatching it because I feel like
you get uncomfortable because you feel like you stepped over.
And I know I got a lot. I got a lot of scrutiny behind that. And when I watch it back, I'm like, oh yeah, this is.
I will tell you this: she was a little nervous.
She was. Yeah,
so some of her answers were a little short and stuff. And so I think you, as a radio guy, felt like you had to make up that air. You know, make up for those.
I think now if she came back, Isabel, you know, you're coming back, but I would definitely think she'd be a little bit more comfortable, and you know, it was different for her. You know,
absolutely. It's not like it was different for all of us. Yeah, we didn't know what to expect.
But that's the only thing I don't like about watching this is like, Andrew, I wish I could slap myself. And then the shirt, I was losing weight at that time, and so the shirt.
You weren't super serious about it yet.
No, not yet though. I was just starting.
All right, let's talk about that just for a second.
Okay.
Paper towels. Oh, yeah. What do you think of when I say paper towels?
Episode 8 with Armando Villarreal.
Yeah.
And there was always a roll of paper towels for me.
I had to keep one handy, and I would run it into you. Yeah.
Yes, I was always flop sweating on the show. It was crazy. It was so crazy.
You take such better care of yourself now than you ever did.
Yeah.
And it's admirable.
Well, I have to. I've
you and I both have seen each other at our lowest, I think.
Or
absolutely. Close.
Yeah. I did a lot. I think I did the first, I want to say almost 15 episodes of the show drunk.
Yeah, I don't
just
doubt
about.
It. Yeah.
Just about. I wanted like
That's
just.
Nerves.
I would go to brunch and I'd come in and we would record like.
I remember you used to come in and say, "Yeah, I've been to King's Landing."
Those mimosas. We used to get fucked up at King's Landing. No, but I appreciate this episode for what it was. Yeah, and I love her. I do love her.
Great.
I think she's so
great.
kind. And I wish
Isabel,
her well.
you know, listen to Andrew talking about you coming back. We would love to have you.
Oh yeah,
you know, come on up here to the.
And I will say this to anybody that might have a misconception about her. Really get to know. Like she's truly kind. She is so kind.
There.
Yeah,
get to know her.
Just get to know her. Like when I got to sit down and talk to her, I was like, she's so fucking sweet.
I am so tired of people making assumptions about people without ever meeting them and talking to them.
And
That's bullshit.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I was so excited when she agreed to come on. Like I was so. I remember.
I remember. Yeah, it was a big deal.
I was so excited.
We talked about it for like 2 weeks before it happened.
We didn't know that it would get this. No. I didn't know it would be the biggest episode that we put out. I did not know. Especially because for what it was. I mean, it was mainly me talking and then her just.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, sure. So yeah, but anyway, okay. So you know what?
It would be super interesting to see what's happened in the last 3-4 years.
Oh yeah,
you know? Just with her family.
Well, I keep up with her on social media. Again, I met her son. Son was very kind.
She's still doing the same thing.
I believe so.
Okay.
And I will say, when she told me I would rather you not share the image on social media.
That's a big deal.
That made me. I like, not that I didn't look at her in a lesser way,
but it's a new level of respect.
I was just like, I got you, girl.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know, that's her privacy.
No, good for her.
And
that's
what
great.
she should, so yeah.
And you have to be guarded if you're going to do that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I feel like a stupid person would do the opposite.
Oh, absolutely.
Would be like, I don't give a fuck.
Well,
but she was just like,
we live around a lot
that's
of
my
stupid
son.
people, so I can see that happening.
So big shout out to her.
Yeah.
So, you know,
especially in this country that's so divided at this point,
most
that
definitely.
sucks.
Most definitely. You know, the next episode that I wanted to get into was actually episode 148. It's not too old.
Yeah.
But I want to say we recorded it a year or two ago. This is when we were on Webster.
Okay.
We were on Webster.
Right.
So this is featuring Haciel Trevino.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is the guy who we took a little bit more of a faith-based direction on this episode.
I remember that. Yeah.
What were your thoughts when I said like I'm going to do something like that?
So I respect that. I think I said this at the beginning.
Yeah.
You treat everyone the same. And it doesn't matter if it's faith-based or if it's not. You know, I mean, literally, we're going from OnlyFans to faith-based here.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a good episode. I enjoyed it.
Can I just say that this episode with Haciel Trevino is one of my top 5?
Well, one
of my favorites.
The other thing we need to mention about him is he is not like I'm going to pound you with my religion.
Oh, that's what I liked about him.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
The thing was, too,
he's just accepting.
When I wanted to do an episode, because I feel like episode 148 with Haciel Trevino was almost the pivotal moment of I'm going to start taking this in a different direction. Yeah, and it's time to tone it down. Now, we had episodes in between, obviously, that were not toned down.
Sure.
But, you know, I was like, I want to start, like, you know what I mean? Toning it down just a little bit. And so part of the reason why
candles and
yeah. Part of the reason why I decided him and not just like your general pastor was because I knew he wasn't going to be extra with it. He's like truly him and his family. I want to give a shout out to his brothers, Abu and George, the kindest people I've ever met.
Really?
In my entire life.
Yeah.
His cousins are Misa and Denise.
That's
the
awesome.
kindest people I've ever met in my entire life. I've met his parents. Kindest people I remember. And so I love, this is actually one of my top 5 favorite episodes.
I think in totality, like as far as faith-based stuff, you've had him, Pastor G. Is there anybody else? I
would say we had Homer and Angelo, but I wouldn't say that was more faith-based. Homer was just out of prison.
Yeah.
And then we had Adrian a couple times, but that wasn't really faith-based either.
I mean, if you're going straight up faith-based, those are really the only two.
I want to say, but I think as far as trumping it, Haciel took it.
Like
if I say
absolutely.
I have a faith-based episode of The Public Affair, it's with Haciel Trevino.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah, let's watch some of it.
Sex until marriage.
Got you.
Like that's my thing.
Has it always been like that since you've been saved, or were you? I mean, you've had sex before, but now it's just different.
Yes, it's always been like that, and that's something that like my parents instilled into us.
Okay.
You know, sex with before marriage is a no-go.
I see. So is this personal? Are you still a virgin then?
Yes. Well, I mean, would you consider like being addicted to porn and all that?
No. I'm talking about. So you've never been with like a woman?
No, I've never been with a woman.
I commend it.
It's that big pause.
I'm not joking. I'm like dead serious.
Yeah.
But I haven't even kissed a woman. I haven't had a girlfriend.
Oh boy, I didn't remember that.
How? Like.
But like I'm a
break it down. No, this is amazing. Okay.
So
and first of all, no, I do have a lot of respect. I really do. That's amazing that you because we're men. We want to do it all the time.
No, yeah.
And so I just know you are just about to burst at the seams. But no, I'm sorry. It's true. We're disgusting. Okay.
I have to say too, when he shared that was like not. So when I write the show, I don't write like a script.
Yeah, sure.
I just have bullet points of what I want to talk about. Mm-hmm. This was not one of the bullet points.
Well, you can tell. Yeah, your reaction to that. You can tell.
Because here's the thing, and no gay shit. Haciel is very well put together.
He is.
I've seen him. He played on the 30 over league that my best friend was playing. Yeah, that's how I like started interacting with him because my best friend Mara was on there.
Yeah.
And so I watched him play soccer. I watched him fight on the soccer field. I watched him take his shirt off on the soccer field. I was like, oh, surely he's getting girls out the rip. You know what I mean?
You would think so.
And when he shared that, I was just so flabbergasted because we're the same age.
You know who I want to commend is his parents.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for being able to, and I don't know if it's fear or if it's just belief.
Yeah.
But how old do you think he was here?
We were roughly the same age.
Yeah.
So I was 31, maybe 30 or 31.
You think he was 30?
Is he the same age as me, or he might be?
He's
got to
be like maybe he's 28, 26.
Okay,
like that.
He's not much younger than I am. If nothing else,
that is a long drought, my friend.
Yeah, and so, but that's what I'm saying. And
I guess if you've never had it, it's never a drought.
But
I don't know.
And part of the reason, I was just flabbergasted because again, you know, he's strikingly handsome,
he is.
and so you know, I just like. surely you're just ripping them out. A
guy that was so polite.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And you know what? He invited me to his church, and I went to his church the day before the episode came out in Round Rock.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he took me out for brunch, and that's what. Here's the thing with Hasiel.
You're a sucker for brunch.
Oh, I love it. Here's the thing with Hasiel that I really, really appreciated. Hasiel had no agenda.
That's right.
There was no, I have to portray
correct.
myself as something my family's going to be disappointed for coming on the public affair. No, nothing.
No.
I know that he had said that there were people questioning our friendship and this and that.
Yeah.
He is as real as they come. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Hasiel Trevino. I love that guy. I think he's so phenomenal.
Andrew, I grew up in the Baptist church.
Okay.
And so you and I should not be friends.
Yeah, sure.
If I go by my upbringing.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine going through life and not knowing somebody like you that you open my eyes to different things. I do want to say I got kicked out of the Baptist church a couple of times, but still, I understand where he's coming from with all that stuff. And there are still a lot of factions that don't accept people of different creeds and even colors and religions and things like that. Yeah. And man, I got to tell you, I didn't know Jesus personally. I mean, I know I'm old enough to, but I don't think he would like that.
No, yeah.
I
don't
you
really
used
get
to
too caught up
say,
on that. Yeah.
You used to say something about God, and you were talking about like when you die and you get to the gates, you would say, you guys are going to have a good talk.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what you said?
We just have to have a talk.
Yeah.
Well, because I shared on the show that I had slept with somebody that was a pastor.
Yeah.
But it was an accident because I didn't know he was a pastor.
Yeah.
So
I can't imagine walking through life and being mad at everybody. That sucks.
No, definitely.
That sucks.
But no, okay. I go ahead. I need some more wine for this. I really am.
So, bro, like, I guess you could say I'm a very romantic guy. Like, I'm a one woman guy. So,
your DM's gonna be lit when this comes out, right? I'm telling you that right now. Good for you. Yes.
So,
I
want to save myself for that one woman
absolutely
that God has for me.
Absolutely. Okay.
So, I've talked to girls. I mean, obviously, I've talked to a couple of girls here and there.
You go date?
Honestly, I've never been on a date.
Oh, it's annoying. Don't do it.
And for the side note, I sinned after that. So.
Well, it's all right. The other thing here is you have changed a little bit too.
Okay.
Like before this started today, you were all about, I'm going to this noodle place afterwards.
Okay.
You weren't worried about any of that stuff other than just getting some good supper and going home. That was all you wanted to do.
But I feel like it's always kind of been like that.
It has to a certain extent.
It was always work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, you've always come in and done the work.
Let's do what we got to do, and then,
like I said, I've never seen you sleepwalk through an episode. So.
Okay. Yeah. But big shout out to Hasiel Trevino. Still keep in touch with him.
Good guy.
I still keep in touch with him.
Welcome
one of the best people
anytime.
I know. Yes,
anytime.
Absolutely. I love that guy. Okay, so you know what? We got one more episode in us. You got one more episode in you?
Awesome.
Okay.
I got it in me.
Listen, and we have to throw this one
no matter
in there.
how I look, I got it in me.
Yes. We have to throw this one in there because I'm with his child right now, which is alleged.
Okay, okay.
And I want to give a huge shout out to David and Daniel Sanchez.
You'll just have to share with me after this how that works.
Did you? Well, ask Daniel how it works. No, were you here? Did you record this one with David and Daniel?
I will have to see their faces.
Yeah,
I immediately. I can tell you, I hate the plug showing, and I hate
the lighting. What were we doing?
Lighting sucks.
What were we doing with the lighting?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was there for that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we invited David and Daniel on the show. I invited
shit on the shelves.
I think I was just gonna invite David, who's the one on the left, because he has Cool Dreams.
Right.
Okay,
oh yeah, that's
HVAC
right.
service,
Yeah.
And so I thought
he did work at that on Washington.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And so then I thought, wait, well, we have to have Daniel because Daniel's a riot, right? And they're brothers.
Yeah.
And so I'm always saying, like, Daniel's one of the very, very few people that lets me say I want to sleep with him.
Yeah.
Because I do. And so
right? On the right?
On the right, yes.
Okay.
And it was funny doing this episode because I remember
staring you down.
Because hello, look at that. He wants me. He's like, I'm gonna get some of that one day. And he hasn't. Well, yes, he has because I'm pregnant.
Okay.
But
gotcha.
David, I remember we were making him so uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But let's just watch them.
I do remember that.
Do you remember that? Okay.
Done.
No commissary. No commissary money.
So That's it.
That's it.
All that's
Gone.
just taken away.
How many times did I wear that fucking shirt
and so
on
you
this
get
show?
out and
Try to fight for
That
it.
wasn't playing.
Yeah.
That's true. We've
I don't
watched
even
two
have
now.
that shirt no more. Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're okay now.
Oh, yeah.
And
When I went back my second time, that kind of opened my eyes being in that
Yeah.
medium cuss. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
like I say, especially after they say, hey man, we just came off lockdown from a riot.
Okay.
It's like, oh okay, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
So-
yeah, for sure.
But man, you meet all man, you got and they got some pretty guys in there.
I don't like pretty guys. I like
Pretty guys. Here's the other thing I'll say. We've had all walks of life.
Oh yeah.
Come through these doors, right? All four places, and I got to tell you, some of the guys that tell the story about going through jail and things like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're some of the nicest folks in the world, and it's like I just want people to give them a chance to do normal life. They've paid their debt.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Anyway,
it's most definitely.
rugged, man. Yeah, I'm the pretty guy. You know
Man,
what I mean?
they had one that they called him Miley Cyrus.
I'm about to walk
Oh,
out.
hell no.
You remember that?
We should call this episode I'm about to walk out. Miley Cyrus. No,
I really thought
I'm
he
not
was about to
fucking
walk
with Miley
out.
Cyrus.
Oh yeah,
I really thought he was about
I think
to
he
walk
thought
out.
he was about to walk out.
You
You can call them.
the gay dudes, they get out there and they fix themselves. They take care of themselves.
There's twinks.
like-
yeah, they're femmes. They're probably twinks.
They'll wash
I
your
like how he
clothes.
puts air quotes around
Is
it.
that what they call them? Yeah, it's okay. You can say it. Yeah, I
But
think
it's-
they do call them. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But it's cool. You got. You just
But
gotta
do we
look out
have
for yourself.
do we have the men that I'm gonna be like? Where's my kingpin? You know what I mean? I don't want the girls. Like I don't want the makeup.
Where's the Squirrel Master?
Yeah. Where's
As soon as
okay?
you walk in there, they're gonna get you. They're gonna say,
Nasty
it's
Nate.
not- but-
Either you're
but
going to go
they're-
with Squirrel Master or Nasty Nate.
Squirrel. What does that mean? Squirrel Master.
You ain't never seen the Half Baked?
No. Oh yes, I have.
Okay. Remember when
A
he
long
was like
time
that?
ago. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm with the Squirrel Master.
Oh, okay.
Nasty Nate. I'm somebody's bitch.
I don't remember that part. I do remember that movie though.
So that's gonna be your option when
Listen,
you go in
I'm
there.
gonna go in and I'm just gonna be like, look, where is the top dog? I don't want the girls. I want the
This is
king.
facts.
Be no girls in there, would you?
No, well, Miley Cyrus.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
tell
want-
you the one that's gonna try to get you the first is gonna be the guys from Mexico.
Oh, I'm in.
They're
Let's
gonna
do
get
it.
you.
Yeah, that's my type.
Because there ain't any people that come in like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we need
You have been
really?
consistent with your
I'm
type.
So,
over the
they're
years.
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
They're not girls. They're guys.
Yeah.
guys.
Like
Yeah,
guys. Like
guys.
guys.
Never lost. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's-
for sure.
Who is it you said you were always looking for?
Construction workers?
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
and then guys with no paper.
No guys with no
This is what
papers.
you
yes.
always said, yeah.
I wonder, this episode was, I have to say, we booked this one kind of last minute. I remember one of the things I always hated about doing this was cancellations, or like when people have to reschedule, and especially when it's at the last minute. And so I personally feel
I've
like.
seen you go through that.
Oh, yeah. It's
You're not
we
happy.
just pulled people out of rest.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, this was one of the ones where I was like, what are you guys doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I wonder what your thoughts are for David and Daniel.
I love the duo of those two because one is so giving and the other one's like recoiling at everything you guys are saying.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But they were so nice guys.
Yeah, they were
such nice guys.
Such great people. And I still keep in touch with Daniel.
I guess I didn't realize it was last minute. And that makes me like them even more.
It was so last minute.
speech like that.
Wow, really?
Just like that.
Daniel, that's the ass.
I've never
right?
been to prison. I don't know nothing about nothing.
So you haven't. You've never been to prison, David?
Man, I've been to Highway 6.
that one doesn't count, right?
Yeah.
It does count. Yeah.
No, it don't count.
But in there,
Highway 6, and that's
You,
it.
you know what? I'm acting like a hard ass though, right? But I swear to God, the minute I get pulled over, I start crying. Like, because I just get scared.
Let
Like
me
I don't
take
want
you in the
to.
woods, officer.
Yeah, I already went to the woods in Mexico and I got banned. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, they wanted their Bud Light.
Like,
that's one of the things that you used to. Boy, you would go out of your way to find exactly what people wanted for the show.
Oh yeah. Now the best part is people are bringing me stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's so great. So I don't have to very
gotten-
sporadic. Do I have to say what do you need me to bring you? So that's pretty. That's all the episodes
That's it.
that we have
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Mike, it's going on 4 years. We're going on
Yeah.
episode 200. Obviously, your favorite was Isabel.
It's only my favorite because there were so many views.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's other than that, I can probably think of, like I said before, maybe 4 episodes
Sure.
that I didn't enjoy doing.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the luck of the draw.
That's the
you
luck
know?
of the
You just
draw,
get
yeah,
it,
for
you
sure.
get it, you don't get it.
Well, I just want to use this opportunity again. You and I have been partnered since the very, since episode 0.
Yep.
And which
I remember when we used to do episode zeros.
Yeah, okay. And so I remember, we've been in it since the beginning. I've had the best working relationship with you.
I appreciate
it. And I think that we are just in an understanding level.
We are.
I don't know that I would still be doing this if you weren't involved either.
I appreciate it.
You know what I mean?
Andrew.
Yeah.
Same here.
There's
Honestly.
there's more to the show than just me behind the mic. There's people behind the scenes. And Rogue Media Network and the people that were involved, like you,
while you're saying that, I want to say thank you to Allison Robles.
Oh yeah. She did a lot.
A huge part of this.
Absolutely, yeah.
She moved on and she's doing a lot of photography and stuff like that now. And I wish her nothing but the best luck.
Yes, no, I definitely was going to give her flowers. And
she was always here.
Yeah, it was just like us three for a whole minute.
That's it.
I feel like we were like the fucking Powerpuff Girls.
We had a revolving door as far as the other people go.
Yeah,
and we've been through some good ones and some bad ones. But it's just the way it is.
There were definitely people who I told you they cannot touch the show anymore.
And I know why.
Yeah.
But we've got a really great team now.
Sure.
And I count you as part of that team, honestly.
Thank you.
We've been up and down and in and out and all kinds of stuff with this show. But the one thing that remains constant is people enjoy being on the show. They enjoy being around you. And it's amazing to see people clam up that are so boisterous when they come through the door. And then they get in here and you start interviewing and they're like, yep,
okay, yeah. That would make them nervous.
You've done a great job.
Thank you, Mike. No, I truly appreciate it. Before we go, the show it was controversial for a whole minute.
Sure.
And maybe it still arguably is. I wonder, was there ever anything that I had said on the show and you were just like, oh my God, I don't know if we can release this?
Okay, so there's, it wasn't your show.
Oh, okay.
It was a different show.
Okay.
And you went on, and then that episode never came out.
Who was that?
You know which one.
Corey?
Yeah.
5-star rewind.
1-star rewind.
Or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was more about, it wasn't necessarily about Corey. It was about just, I don't know.
I think
he has a lot of pressure on him as far as people
go.
I
think, and I was sure that, so some people watched it. It was out for like 2 days. I did do another podcast with the owner, Corey, and he took it
and
down.
By the way, let me give Corey Dickman his due here.
Mm-hmm.
He, I chased him down for a long time.
Yeah,
finally met him, talked him into doing this crazy thing, and without him, none of this stuff would happen.
Oh yeah, so sure.
I appreciate Corey. Yeah. I count him as a great friend.
And shout out to the 1-star rewind because
well, it's coming back.
Yeah,
it'll come back.
And I will say too,
your episode goes on the director's cut.
Yeah,
that's what
looking back at it now for what it was, because it was so risque. And that's what he wanted.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He wanted edgy, so I provided it.
I know.
But I will say he's not the only, and I understand why. Now I understand why he took it down, because if I had to go back to look at that Andrew, I would smack him in the face like, what the fuck were you doing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But as far as your show, no, I have never been embarrassed by your show.
Sweet.
I have always thought you know what you're doing. And I got a little secret.
Okay.
And that is the guy you see here in front of the camera is not necessarily the same guy you see behind the camera. Mm-hmm. And you and I have had lots of long talks about all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's not always salacious, and it's not always this and that. It's just, again, like I say, I count you as a friend, and I really appreciate that. And we never would have met without this.
Absolutely. 100%. And I feel the same way about you. And
Good.
I'm very
grateful.
I
appreciate that.
Very, very grateful that you've been a part of this ride. And now we're going on episode 200.
Holy shit.
So, and of course, this goes out to you guys as well. We, like I said, I wanted to do something like this for a whole minute, just kind of like a little filler episode. Episode 200 will be out next Monday, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that.
There is nothing that we do in front of the camera that could be done without your sponsors and without your viewers.
Yeah, we have to give it to everybody that shows love and support, and every single person that, even some of the old episodes that we just reviewed, there were people that sponsored the show that don't do it now, but truly, I'm so grateful and blessed for that. Can I drop a little thing here? Yeah.
We have started a thing called Rogue Media Market.
Okay.
And it is for those small retailers.
Oh, okay.
The people that show up at the farmer's market and set up and sell their jewelry and their soap and all that that stuff. And some of the folks that have advertised on your show, they maybe can't afford a big advertisement.
Sure.
So that's what this is for. And if anybody wants any information about that, please contact me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to deal with some of the smaller retailers, people that are just trying to get started.
Absolutely phenomenal. Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you guys again so much for tuning into this episode of The Public Affair. This is just an intermission. We've got episode 200 coming out next week, and of course, more to follow. The Public Affair lives on. Thank you guys again so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, before we go, Mike, I definitely, I got to give a shout out to more of our sponsors. I want to give a huge shout out to Elite Barbershop, my boy Sid Rodriguez, located on Hewitt Drive. Call the number on the screen to book it. Download the Squire app. Walk-ins are welcome as well. He has Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Cliff Fletcher, Isai Reyes, and Sam Ceballos, and Kyle Berry over there making you like a snackage I have going on 200 episodes of The Public Affair. They were one of the episodes that we reviewed today, and I'm wearing their shirt. My boy Sid Rodriguez is the GOAT. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to J. Pedo and Poke with Junior Fuentes and your entire family, providing delicious, savory Japanese crepes and poke bowls. They also have handcrafted Thai rolled ice cream for dessert. You can choose from a menu item, or create your own, like I like to do, because I like to download the app and do my own little bowl. Locations on University Parks Drive and on Hewitt Drive. You can also order online at jpedaltx.com and download their app to JPedal. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to my girl Ana Limones with Hummingbird Party backdrops and decor. You can call for all party decor, including beautiful balloon props, giving an extra flair to your party or event with a number of wooden backdrops and so much more. And the husband she revealed to us on the show makes the wooden backdrops for her. Big shout out to her. She does great.
She was great.
Oh, I loved her. Episode out now. Ana Limones, thank you so much for sponsoring. Oh, yes, for sure. For sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, the Pollo Box and Audio with my boy Jeffrey Monreal. Home for all your LED needs and audio accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and so much more. Definitely a jack of all trade and your one-stop shop. Your one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. He's pimped out my ride. And I'm sorry, I know you're go ahead, things, but I drive by his place all the time. Oh yeah, for sure. And I always look at it and I'm like, oh, I know that dude. Oh yeah, it's so nice. And he was on the show twice. Yeah, he was. Huge shout out to Jeffrey Monreal. To all of you guys, thank you again so much for all the love and support. Of course, to Rogue Media Network and Mike Hamilton, thank you for being a part of this episode with me. Buddy. And don't forget to always, you guys, keep it between us.
Ding.
That's it.
That's great, man. Good job.
How long was that? Was that an hour?
I don't even know. You just want to get the king noodle.
No, I'm good. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode of The Public Affair, our intermission episode, The Gap to Bridge episode.
The Gap to Bridge. Yes. The Bridge to Gap.
The Bridge to Gap. The Bridge to Gap.
That's all right. That's your blooper at the end.
Let me start it over. We're sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Osiet Penguin Benitos with Funtown RV. The best in RV sales. Penguin's working overtime to make sure you and your family have the best RV, travel trailer, fifth wheel, toy hauler, you name it, for camping season. That's right. Camping season is doing its thing this year. And make sure I fucked it up again. Stop. I fucked up.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.